はい、どうも、OK です。では、早速続きを始めていきましょう。とうとうフィニアスを助けるために、韓国までやってきちゃったね。タルタロス。もう戻れない。あそこか。もう殺しちゃっていいのかな、これ。あ、巡礼。みんな来てくれたんだ。パールの恋人が来てくれたよ。あれ、まだいる？ボルバーマーク2。さてと、もうみんな死んどりますかな？君は合格だ。よし、お前みたいな青はしんどげ。使っちゃった。みんなどこ行ったんだろう。グランドブレーカーの人たちは。まっすぐ行ってもいいけど。 上に上がってもいいか。おお。入れんのか。ああ、ここに来るんだ結局。深いな。だいぶ深く潜っていく感じだね。お、早速いるね。靴があるみたい。なるほど。まずはこっちかな。どうしましょう。皆殺しにするっていうのもいいけど。よし、ワッチ。めっちゃ強かった。これで焼いちゃった方が早い気がするな。よし、これでどんどんやっていこう。脳が切れちまった。 危ない。上に登ればいいか。お、来たぞ。よし、全部解いていいだろう。行きますか。ピットへ移動。変装道具を持ってるおかげで結構内部まで入れちゃうね。こっから本番ってところかな。でもそうすると6番目の仲間が気になるな。搬入搬出記録。難しい内容だな。ブラック M。すぐそこにあるのか。これも取る必要ない気がするけど。まあ、せっかくだし。
Guess we're going up.
Your uniform has been rated 82%.
やっちまいな。まあ、結局こうなるか。N 線ダメージ。これでいこうか。ファイヤー。どっちだ ?46。あそこか。
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
よし。誰かと戦ってんのか。巡礼たちかな。よし。もうガツガツいくぜ。こっちなんか関係あんのかな。まあ、印はここだからここでいいと思うけど。やれ。あー、危なかったな。ここにいるのか、フィニアス。あ、ロックウェル議長。
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned.
こんなとこにいたの
I
か。
was in the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exactly where I want to be.
Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting after all.
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
きっとロックウェル議長だ。どういうことだ。
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
このクソ野郎。
Oh, the look on your face. Fantastic. No, he isn't quite there yet. A bit more torture will help, I think. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
We're helping, which is more than you can say.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way.
そう。と協力してくれたらよかったんだよ。
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help.
.これをやってしまうと、ロックウェル議長を許すような感じになっちゃいそうだな。使ってみるか。こいつは含めてないもんね。人材は確かに必要だし。
I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
.やっぱ許すことになるのか。
I've got work to do.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So,
サンジャル。ナイス。みんな頑張ってくれてんだ。
Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you are.
実質的に運営する人間ソフィア・カンデと対面する。
Captain, You have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
Sophia, 身を引け。
I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm aware of your diplomatic talents, Captain. You have a gift for manipulation, but I warn you, I'm no easy mark. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy. You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony.
Well,
that's mostly correct. You're not leaving here at all. I take no pleasure in this, you know. I simply have no other option. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. Goodbye, Captain.
この話をしようってなんだろう。
Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me. Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. By the way, those test subjects you killed, they died in agony. My scientists assure me they can recover the data you've destroyed. You've succeeded in temporarily delaying our research. Nothing more.
That
isn't true. It can't be. You're trying to manipulate me. That experiment was absolutely essential to the program. My scientists assured me they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word. You're telling the truth, aren't you? My scientists have been chasing their tails for years and calling it progress. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, all those experiments, you've set us back decades. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry, I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically or something.
Here they come!
全然効かねえ。ロボットはこっちだな。で、自然回復。愛武器のブレ。防御率アップ。タクティカルタイムディレーション。もう一気に畳みかけてやるぜ。他にもなんかあるかな。基本体力上昇。これでいこう。エリー。こっちだ。よーし、もう一発食らわせ。やれ、エリー。もう一発食らわせ。終わった。睡眠室の鍵。どうよ。結局このウルトラが強かったか。あの人いるのかな。豪勢な場所だな。
Why don't you just die?
議長の鍵。あれ。よーし、フィニアス。
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
あんたを救うためにどれだけの厄介事をくくり抜けてきたか分かっているな。
What? Break into the most heavily guarded facility in the most hostile world in Halcyon? No, I have absolutely no idea how you did it. You're a goddamn miracle worker. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
今度は食糧難か。食糧難ね。
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
切り離されちゃったのか。地球は滅んだのかどうかにもよるけどね。
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
リーダーか。そうだな、議長を使ってやろう。どれがいいかな。裏から支配することにしようか。
The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live, but I'll have to trust your judgment. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
これが1周目の終了ってことかな。
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence further cemented Ellie's perspective. She understood she could never truly rely on others, so she set about making sure she wouldn't have to. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She enjoyed a long and infamous career running missions across the system. Some of them were even legal. After all he'd seen and heard adventuring with you, the vicar Maximilian de Soto renounced his faith and joined the effort to rebuild the colony. Ironically, he finally found the joy that had eluded him over the course of his life, and realized that perhaps he was always meant to be just a simple laborer after all. He quickly dismissed the idea. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, She was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
いやー、面白かった。最後に進んだ道によってどういう結果になったかっていうのを教えてくれるんだ。あれで選んだものが違っていたらまた違う結果になっていたってことだよね。パールバティがジュンレイとくっついてたっていうのは良かった。なるほど。何周も楽しめるっていうのはこういう感じなんだね、多分。いろいろ思い出したよ。結末見てるとなんか、いいね。偶像破壊主義者と MSI くっつけたっていうのもあったし。 選択肢によってじゃあだいぶ変わってたんだな。結局6人目の仲間が加入してないんだけどそれだけ気になるかな。6人目誰だったんだろう。殺してるとかそういうことかな、もしかして。仲間になってた可能性。いやー、あれかな、選択肢によって行ってない星があって、そこにいたのかもしれないね。あと4つぐらい星行けなかったのがもうすごく気になる。途中で何人か殺しちゃったからそれ系かもしれないな。結局中盤以降からあんまり新しい武器みたいの入らなかったから、最終的にはもう強化するだけでよかったみたいだな。もっと強力な武器手に入れたら改良したり改造したりしようかなとか思ってたから結構残してたんだよね、いろいろアイテムとか改造用品とかね。でもガンガン使っといた方がよかったっていう感じか。弾丸とかも結局めっちゃ余ってるしね。4000ぐらい余ってたりするし。でもまあ、戦闘がメインじゃないしね。まあ、1回目はだいたい思ったように進めたし、よかったかな。2周目はなんか気になる選択肢とかまだあったから、そっちの方を選びたいかな。あと6人目の仲間ね。6人目は気になってしゃあないわ。あのタッチ並び方からするとさ、ミョカの前になってる気がするんだよね。じゃあもしかしたらモナーク行く前に誰か仲間なってたのか。もうモナーク行く前というとグランドブレーカーぐらいでしょう。エッジウォーターで神父と R が仲間になってアンリライアブルの中でサムでしょ。その次にモナーク行ってるから、モナークでニョカ。そっか、モナークでもう一人っていう可能性もあったのか。誰だろう、行ってないところとかあったのかな。行ってないところがあったか、喋ってない人がいたか。クエスト的には全部終わらしてたから多分、喋ってない人が行ったところが、行ってないところがあったかどっちかだと思うけど。次はスペーサーズチョイスの、そういえばさ、クレオおばさんって会わなかったね、結局。あれも違う惑星にいたのかな、クレオおばさん。じゃ、クレオおばさんの信頼を勝ち得るか、信頼を勝ち得ていったな、確か。だから逆にクレオおばさんの信頼を落としてると、なんか別の惑星行くクエストミッションみたいなのができたのかも。 2周目引き継ぎとかあんのかな？あったらいいけど。引き継ぎとかあったらサイエンス武器っていうのをなんか鍛えてみたいな。あれ結局ロッカー突っ込んだまま全然使わなかったしね。サイエンスを強化したら強くなるっていうことだから。2周目やるとしたらどうしよう。配信、ライブとかでまったり流すのもいいかもね。2周目引き継ぎないんだったらロッカーのやつガンガン売っとけばよかったね。売ったりしとけばそこそこのお金にはなっただろうし。あとスキルとかももうちょっとこう固めときたかったな。なんかバラッバラになっちゃったけど。戦闘ともう一個なんかでよかったかもね。戦闘と、なんだろう、会話もいいけど、次やるとしたら会話は育てないかな。戻ってきた。じゃあ完全にもう、あれだね、引き継ぎない感じか。OK。じゃあ、とりあえず一周、ここで終わりにしたいと思います。長らくご視聴ありがとうございました。じゃあね。